Hello, hello, and welcome to our stream. It is a beautiful Sunday afternoon, a nice and lazy Sunday afternoon, and I am super excited to be here. I am using a stream software for the first time, which means I have absolutely no idea how to get my URL out to my students or to anyone really. So this might be a fairly quiet stream. As you can see, because I have both of my cameras on, I have my front camera and I have my document camera up. I can have little Linguini as our special guest. He has just woken up and he says, "Mama, why in the world are you waking me up right now?" And it's really cute. Just saying. So, what I'm going to do is just go ahead and get started. Now, for any of you who have been following me, probably not, but you never know. I am Miss B, and I am a teacher, an art teacher, and I have been doing triptychs with my students. And what a triptych is a three-part panel, or a three-part panel drawing or a piece of art. Oftentimes it will tell a story. It doesn't have to. In the Renaissance style, oftentimes they would tell religious stories and such, but as you'll see, I'm not telling a religious story with mine. I'm telling the story of Frozen. And what we're doing here is we're just looking at how do we take a rough draft and make it into a final draft. And so Linguini has never been live before, and he might decide to be a little sleepy menace, and that is it is possible. We'll see. He's never been live. He doesn't know what manners to use. So let's take a look at the rough drafts that I have gone ahead and made ahead of time. So far, I have had lots of rough drafts. I made 3 rough drafts for the beginning panel, 3 for the middle, and 3 for the end. For our beginning panel, my beginning my beginning sentence was Elsa ices Arendelle, runs away, and Anna follows. I decided to do this last one over here. The funny bit, though, is that when I actually made the final draft, I absolutely forgot to have Elsa icing Arendelle, and I just did a regular forest. Yeah, I know, Linguini. So as Linguini is pointing out, this is snow, and so I added like white marker white paint to it to make sure that it was snowing and actually showed it. For the middle, I decided that the middle of my triptych was Hans plots to kill Elsa and Anna, or Elsa and Anna saves her. So that was kind of like the big dramatic moment, and I decided I had a few ideas, and I kind of combined these 2 ideas because this one wouldn't work with a portrait style. So here's this. My students told me to try to do a combination of ink and watercolor. Yeah, hi. Yeah, I know. Do you remember? So I tried it. Anna turned out to be super dark and kind of Barney-ish. But I think it turned out all right. And got little Kristoff and Sven crying in the background because Anna's about to be killed. And so now for my last piece, for my end piece, I'm going to be doing Hans. Let's see. Anna is saved by her act of love, and they all live happily ever after. And for this one, I actually really like how this turned out because it looks like it has Hans in the background, kind of being sus and being kicked out of the shuttle. And I played around with a couple ideas. This one is closest to what the movie looks like. It has Anna and Kristoff kissing in the background and little Olaf with his little flurry. And then I tried to do I was thinking about doing the end credits for like when you win in Among Us. And I really like how this one turned out with the little hands in the background. And then for this one, just to see what it would look like, I did Elsa in front of her fountain, kind of like, I've reclaimed my my dignity and everything's okay now. Whee! And I kind of like a combination of these 2. I think I'm going to do this one with a fountain in the background, as well as Hans over here being like, "Wah!" So let's get started. And again, it's a sleepy Sunday afternoon. I couldn't find the key to tell my students where this was, or the URL to tell my students where this was. So the likelihood of anybody being here is almost zero, and that's okay. This is the first time that I've been showing this video and this video, so we'll see where it goes. So if you have any comments or questions, I go ahead and put them in the chat. I'm here for it. But again, I know that probably not many people are going to be watching, but my students can go back and watch, and that's just fantabulous. All right, so first things first, we're gonna look at how the Among Us end cap looks. Oh, actually, I almost forgot. In my final draft of here, I actually did a shortcut and I shortened it. So I actually need to make sure that I do the same thing for this page and that I shorten it out. So I'm actually going to take this page out and I'm going to do the same method that I did with that one and put some blue tape on it, because I would like for them to be as symmetrical as possible. So I'll worry about like actual symmetry later when I'm cutting it down, which will be my next feed. But let's go ahead and cut this down a little bit. Make sure that it's lined up in my webcammy thingamajig. And that's close enough. All right. Does that look? That looks close enough, right? Yeah, it's close enough. All right. So first things first, then we're gonna figure out where everything goes. So a lot of this project has been talking about the foreground, the midground, and the background. And we are going to be playing with going from foreground to midground as the people get farther apart, and then we're gonna have a fountain in the background. So let's look at who's in the foreground. Since this is kind of, this is a Anna and Elsa story, but I put Elsa in the foreground I put her in the middle for this. She was able to overcome a lot and kind of find herself and such. So I'm going to go ahead and put Elsa in the foreground, which means that she's going to be bigger, right? And she's going to be in front of a lot of other things. And I hope that you can see my my pencil strokes as we go. Lighting is not something that I have been able to play with a whole ton, so we'll see. I'm probably going to make her have like a happy expression. Not that Among Us people really have expressions. But I'm going to give her a happy expression because why not? Again, one of my students inspired me to do this Among Us idea, and I really appreciate it, Livy. And so we're going to give her her hair, and we're going to do the little faux braids that I've been doing recently. I might even kind of have her braid. I mean, I know she's not Rapunzel, but I've been really digging her, like giving her a long braid recently. And then I'm going to have her hands out. Whee! And we're going to do these little faux hands. Yeah, that's good enough. And then we'll come back to her a little bit later. I might shift her visor down, but let's see. Now, next we had, who did I have next? Let's look at our rough draft. And again, that's why we have rough drafts. So I'm going to have her hands kind of like that. We had Anna and Kristoff, and then we had Olaf and Sven. Not that Olaf's been like an actual big part of this or anything, for my pictures at least, but they're still there. Obviously, my spread isn't going to be able to be as wide, so I'm going to make them a little bit like closer and a little bit more of a tight V rather than a wide V. So we're going to put Anna here with a little happy face and her bangs, which are super cute. Oh, I did those bangs wrong. Wrong way. That's not how bangs go. Bangs go this way. Okay, cool. It's a sleepy Sunday afternoon. It's fine. Hopefully you can see this. I know that my webcam is lightening and darkening randomly. So we have Anna's little pigtails. We're gonna show that they're there in the over here, but it's okay if they're not all present. Oh, hi, Linguini. Are you trying to make an escape? Is that what's happening? Linguini comes to say hello on this camera. You are gonna fall, and I'm gonna really try hard not to laugh, my little sleepy snack. All right, and then we have Kristoff. I might not be making them far enough apart, but we'll see. So we have Kristoff even further behind, over here. And when he had a little hat, we established that that's his like main thing, is he has a little hat. So we have our Kristoff, who's also like happy, but he doesn't show his emotions necessarily. So we're not going to be giving him as much of a happy face. And we're probably going to give a little heart over here because they are cute together and they're like together-ish. Although one of the things that I absolutely adore about Frozen is that they're like, hey, don't get married as soon as you just meet, because that's bunk. All right, so we go over to this other side, and I think I'm gonna have Olaf over here just to bring symmetry, because if I only had Kristoff and Anna here and I only had Sven over here, that would feel kind of weird. So I'm gonna give Olaf a little bit of time over here. And if you can see, if I can swivel my camera, you can see that Linguini is getting into mischief. So I guess I'll keep my camera there, because Mischief Linguini is cute, if not a little bit of a troublemaker. So we're going to give Olaf here. Olaf's got a few little dangly hair things and a forever happy expression and a carrot for a nose. And I think we're going to have him facing this way, so his nose is going to be this way. Because in case you didn't know, whichever way you're facing, your nose points that way. I know, weird, right? Alright, so we're going to have him there. He's happy. He's Olaf. Linguini. Get over here. Get over here. See, as I said, Linguini is being a mischief maker. He likes Deku as much as I do, apparently. Come here, my little love. You have to get used to streaming, because this is our streaming channel. You just haven't had a job. You haven't been showing up to work yet. That's not fair. And he has firm grip on Deku, so we're just going to hold him there. We'll see what happens. All right, and then, so we did Olaf, and now we're doing Sven. Oh, Sven. Sven's such a good character in this series. So we're doing a little antlers. Doo-doo-doo. And then the antlers are going to go off screen, but that's okay. And Sven also doesn't really have much of an expression here. Kind of mirroring Kristoff, because both of them are kind of like dude bros a little bit. And then, let's see. So we have Elsa here. We have our supporting characters. We're also, like, based on how much space I have, what I'm going to do is go ahead and kind of, like, think about what the fountain's going to look like. And then I'm going to have Hans, like, up here, kind of, like, diddling away. So I'll probably... I really like how this is... I almost don't want to clutter it up with a fountain. Maybe the fountain's like way back here, I think, and becomes a smaller piece. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Thinking about balance and thinking about like where things are and how things show up and how things are balanced throughout your project is really important. Whether it's symmetrical or asymmetrical, this one's very, very symmetrical, as you can see. 1, 2, 2, and then 1 even back here. That makes it a diamond and makes it even more symmetrical. I'm just kind of like leaning into that. Oftentimes symmetry can be boring, but especially at the end of a story where everything's been in chaos and you kind of want a resolution, symmetry can feel really nice and kind of like peaceful. So we like symmetry sometimes. We're gonna have like icy magic going everywhere, and this This part doesn't necessarily need to be symmetrical, but as I said, I'm kind of digging the symmetry today. So we'll see. I'm really digging the symmetry today, apparently. Except for Hans. Hans is not going to be symmetrical. He is going to be very, very upset, and none of us care that he is upset. Nobody cares that Hans is upset, right? Call me mean, but if somebody tries to murder the protagonist for no reason, I don't know. It just seems like bad form to go around murdering your protagonist. I don't know. It's just me. It's just me. Okay, it might just be me. Linguini. Yeah, that's what I thought. He's like, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll come over here. All right, so now just the little Hans. Yeah? Yeah, do you want to try drawing? Someday maybe we can find a snake-safe way of you drawing. Is that what you want? All right, so we're doing this kind of like nether zone where we're going to kind of deviate from what's being done in the picture at large, and then Hans is going to be drifting off into space, and I think I want him upside down to show that he's like really just not okay. Because again, like, you try to kill the protagonist and you get your comeuppance, you get what's coming from you. Of course, this jerk little hairstyle. I'm sorry if anybody has this hairstyle and looks like Hans. I almost apologize. It's not a flattering hairstyle from my perspective, and he's a jerk, so there's that. So I'm going to go ahead and give him little dots showing that he's like drifting. Maybe have them kind of like, ooh. Maybe little ooh. Hans was sus. Hans was very sus. And let's see. So I think that just about does it. I almost wish that I could bring all of this down a little bit, which is the positive of graphic stuff. Because if this was all on computer, I could just be like, oh, you let go of Deku, nice work. If this was all on the computer, I could be like, okay, so I could just cut all of this out and kind of like bring it down a little bit, but that's not what's happening. So how do I want to do this? This is why we have rough drafts, although I definitely think that because I did so many rough drafts, this is a better quality. It has, like, I was able to think through a lot of my thoughts and such. So let's make the fountain just a little bit farther down. It's kind of hard to show that the fountain's in the foreground or the background as much, because fountains can be giant or fountains can be small, and there's nothing really to like compare it to. But we're gonna go with it. Maybe make it a little bit smaller than I was intending to make it, just to show that it is in the background. And we're gonna go with it. It's gonna be great. It's fine. It's fine, right? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. For any of my students listening, they know that I have been known to overuse that. It's something that happens a lot in my my comedy community. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And so it's kind of caught on to me. I've kind of caught on to it and started doing that. Oh, you are so helter-skelter. Let's even you out, shall we? So maybe I'll make you a little bit thinner of a base. Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's probably still looks a little wonk, but that's okay. And put these back. Again, kind of digging the symmetry, and it doesn't need to be perfect symmetry to be symmetry, but it's nice to have something. It's soothing. I asked my students whether when we were talking about symmetry and when we were talking about balance, if they liked symmetrical pictures better or asymmetrical pictures better. And the ones who said I like symmetrical pictures better would always say it's because it's calm. And they would always say it's because it's like chill and quiet and stuff. And so there's just something about symmetry that really brings balance and like kind of like centeredness, I think. That's why we do mandalas. That's why we when we draw something, oftentimes for a pattern, a lot of times we just do it the same all around. It's a little intimidating when you're trying to get like perfect symmetry, which is super difficult without like doing measurements and or using like a computer or something like that, but it's possible. So we're gonna do, how do we feel about that? How do we feel about that? We don't feel great about that. We don't like that at all. That's not what we're doing. Okay. Maybe we do this. Yeah. I like that bet much better. And again, it's kind of organically symmetrical. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, great. Done. Awesome. Sweet. And then I think for her hands, not hands, we're gonna look at my, yeah, little kisses. Are you in the mood for little kisses? I really like how I did this here. Like, these hands are awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna kind of sneak a cheat and look underneath because I really like how those turned out. So we're gonna go like this, boop-a-doo. And then the crease that I'm putting in there is kind of like when I put my hand here and I'm creasing it right here. Because really your hands, and I talked about this another time, your hands have several parts where they can like joint. So there's like 1, 2, and 3 places that it can joint, and then you have your wrist, right? But for simplicity, oftentimes I'll just go with this single joint, right? And so I'm kind of going for this kind of look, just to simplify it, especially because like we're doing Among Us. 2, it's Sunday, and I don't feel like really trying to get correct hand anatomy. 3, we don't need to be worrying about that. Although this hand is way too big, so let's... it's fine. Yeah, let's go with that. Do-do-do. And then this one's here. I still don't like how it's looking. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. Close enough. Right? Yeah, it's close enough. Alright, and as we've done before, because nobody has shown up to my chat, I get to make these decisions on my own, or I get to let the dice make them. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do watercolor for this, probably. Let's choose a brush. I'm going to choose my handy dandy fine tip from Faber-Castell, because we like Faber-Castell. And we're just going to start going ahead and doing that outline. I've talked about this in all my videos, and I'll talk about it again. You need to decide whether you want water-soluble or waterproof ink, because they do 2 very different things. Last time I played with doing both, and the water-soluble ink, meaning that the ink is made of water and water will kind of break it down, actually made for really good like shadowing effects and such. Like when I was using it and I went over it with some water from watercoloring, that was really, it came out with a really cool effect. But it has to be, I highly suggest you choose the effect instead of accidentally stumbling into it, like Linguini is accidentally stumbling into this project right here. Yeah? Oh? Yeah, are you gonna start drawing too? Is that what's going on? Okay. Little drawing menace making it a little bit more difficult to do the lines, but that's okay. This is your live stream too, right? I'm gonna share. Mommy's gonna share. Yeah. If I get big, I have to promise to give him lots of big cheese boys. Or maybe we'll get him. There are these fancy mice that people breed, or fancy rats that people breed, that are apparently super tasty to little Snicka boys. Eek. And yes, he is a boy. His name is Linguini. He's a ball python, and is really good at stopping his and becoming a sneckless or a snecklet, little bracelet, sneck bracelet. I'm gonna try to do this with my little sneck bracelet on. We will see how this goes. But yeah, he's 6 months old 2 days ago, so he's 6 months and 2 days old, and you are trying to get into that watercolor. That's just not gonna be very good for you. You already have a pretty banana watercoloring, so we're gonna put you back up there. So in case anybody is wondering about ball pythons, they tip and why I'm having him with me like through this whole process. Typically, ball pythons are very like kind of like I'll let the human hold me, but Linguini is very, very cuddly. He is not the rule; he is the exception. Yeah, hi, baby. So like when my partner and I want to put him away in his tank, he will like grab onto our hands, go, "No, not bedtime yet. I'll be good. I promise." And then he goes and makes mischief again. But but he'll typically like hold like if we're like okay 5 more minutes before bedtime, he'll like hold on to our arms for the next half hour, trying to prove that he can really be good. Uh, he's just such a sweetie. And I quite adore him. He has been just such a great companion over these last 4 months that we've had him, I believe. Yeah, 4 or 5 months. Um, and yeah, and in case you're wondering, I know a lot of ball python enthusiasts would be really worried about like, well, it's not hot where you're at, and he's not like you don't have any heat packs around you, or which can be dangerous, but like if handled correctly, they can be good. Linguini doesn't seek heat, and I know that people aren't gonna believe me, but he doesn't. We when we took him to the vet for the first time just to have like a little snicka checkup, the vet was like, "Oh, here's this like heating pad for him," and he just completely ignored it. We tried to put him on it, and we're like, "I don't know if he just ignored it," because snakes are cold blooded. Usually they're heat seeking, and so when I tell people he's cuddly, they're like, "Oh, it's because he's seeking heat." And I gotta tell you, that's not always the case with him. My partner is way more warm than I am on any given day because he's just a heater. And Linguini will literally go from cuddling him to me just to hang out because he feels like it. So I don't know what to tell you. It's not the case. Oops, that was a little bit thicker than I meant it to be, but that's okay. So yeah, the reason why I'm not super concerned about his heat is because he's not, and even if I had a heating like a place for him to be warm on my person, he would ignore it. No, not because it's too hot. No, not because something's wrong or blah blah blah, or he hasn't eaten. He ate a couple days ago, right? Feeding days in 2 days, but because he just doesn't care. So, in case you're wondering. All right, so I have done everything that I'm going to do for now. I'm probably going to use, I really like the way that the marker turned out for like ice and water and such, and for Elsa's hair. So I'm going to actually go ahead and use that to my advantage over here. But first we need to erase. So I'm going to go ahead and twist up my eraser and go ahead and erase while Linguini is deciding what kind of mischief he's going to get into next. Oops, I forgot about this. Yeah. He might decide to just cuddle up and hang out, or he might decide to try to cause some more mischief or stop Mom from being able to draw, and that's okay. I forgot a lot on Anna. Why did I forget the rest of Anna's body? What else did I miss? Jeez. This is why I need my students here so they can tell me what I missed. To my students who missed this, and if you actually watched it later, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to, like, notify you that this was happening. So, oh well. Sorry. I'll see if I can do some more live stuff tomorrow. Tomorrow we have off school, woot woot, but maybe I can do like a cardboard construction video or something like that if anybody's interested, because I know that students are going to be going on and saying, but where's school? Don't we have class today? And everybody's going to be confused, and that's just the way that it's going to be, isn't it? Yeah, is that the way things are going to be? Yeah. I'm allergic to dogs and cats, so Linguini is the first pet that I've been able to cuddle in... Oh no, what is this? Is that my nail polish? Well, that's okay. I painted my nails yesterday, so the fact that it's coming off now is like, oh. Let's see if I can actually, like, color with it a little bit. I don't know if you can see I'm like, vaguely coloring the little heart. Yep, there it is. I wonder if I got the whole rainbow in this style, or in this, what's it called? Brand, in this brand, if I could just, like, do a rainbow and, like, do shadows and such with it. Oh, that would mess up so many things by accident if I forgot that I had it on. Alright, so let's take a look at what we're going to be using today. Link, look at him. Mom! Look at me! Going all belly up because he can. Alright. Deku, you're not needed right now. Let's see if I can find my markers. There they are. So I found out that these markers are super great for doing the ice stuff. So probably what I'll do is bit by bit, I'll put in the highlights first. Because as we know with markers, you don't want to get it, like, dirty with a darker color. Honey, I'm just going to put you right up here because I'm going to need my other hand, okay? Can I have my other hand back? Can I have my hand? No? Is that a no? Can I not? There we go. Okay. So, let's see if I can do this bit by bit. So I'm going to go ahead and erase and then draw. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I can, so that's nice. Maybe I'll make it a little bit darker so that you can see it. Yeah. I have never done live streaming before, so I have no idea if this is, like, how you do things. A couple of my students said that they liked it, so I'll take that. I'll take that and run, and be grateful that some of my students liked it. This is the point in which I start to get into flow. I told my students a little while ago, flow is what happens when you are just engaged enough, but also relaxed enough and doing something that kind of takes your mind off of things, that it sends you into something called flow. And it's really good for you. It's really relaxing, and kind of like... time passes more, time doesn't really, you don't notice that time is happening with flow, typically. It is a really unique state of being when you're doing something creative and almost monotonous almost creative, almost monotonous, somewhere in between. And it's this really nice place to be in, and I really enjoy it. And right around here is in this kind of like stuff is where I start to enter into flow, where I'm playing with colors and I'm playing with ideas, and I'm finally getting my I don't have to create the backdrop anymore. I'm just going ahead and making good on what's happening and what I'm going to do. And it's just really relaxing. So I'm gonna bring that over there. That's gonna have to do. It's gonna have to be good. We're gonna have to call that good. Yep, we're calling that good. And like I said earlier, I wanted to go ahead and make that a little bit more pronounced. I don't know, did I say that earlier? Whatever. Hi, honey. Yeah? Are you reminding me not to forget about my characters down there? Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it. Hi, baby. Alright, and then what I'm probably going to do is go color by color and then do Elsa's hair along with the fountain at the same time. Again, just kind of getting into flow. Just like Linguini's getting into mischief right now as we speak. Yeah? Yeah? I don't know why he always wants to go by my markers or around my pop can. I don't know if y'all can see that. He's like, Mom, Coke Zero's the best. I want Coke Zero too. Please? Can we have Coke Zero? Again, not necessarily trying to get away, just like curious as anybody can assume that a snake owned by me would be. Let's give her a little bit of depth here. Yeah? Yeah. That's called the end of the desk, and that's not where we're going to be going. Come here, sweetness. Come here. There you go. Okay. I'll probably put him away if he tries to pull an escape one more time. Okay. Just one more. There. I suppose this would be the time if I were compiling a video instead of live. I'd go ahead and do like a fast forward or whatever, but yeah. Or try to have some music on in the background, but I don't have license for that kind of stuff, so. I mean, I could sing, but I'd have to have a request. Here we go. Yeah. And then we're going to do one more darker color. you know, in all of the stuff that's going on in the world, the insurrections, the racism that's going on, the MPD, it's nice to just flow, you know? It's nice to be, to play with color. Just to go back and forth between colors. As you wish, you know. Build color, build a story, build a what's happening, you know. Maybe I shouldn't have done that and added that down there, but that's okay. Because we're just playing with color, right? There we go. Because why not? I think I'm also going to add a little bit more color out here. And if it doesn't turn out the way that I wanted it to, that's okay. I could always do another draft or just let it be what it is. Let it go, if you will. I think what I'll do is have Elsa's hands be blue as well. Just to kind of show that this is her doing, you know? Yeah. I think Linguini has gotten into flow as well, perhaps. There we go. Yeah, all right. So that's the first part of it, and then I suppose we just go ahead and start watercoloring. So, let's see. Let's bring our watercolor water over here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this the other way so that everybody can see what we're doing and what we're up to. So let's see. Elsa was typically a very, very light blue. So I'm going to take this light blue. I'm going to take this blue and put it over here to be watered down. We're just going to paint her blue. And Linguini has decided that he wants to be painted blue as well. And that's not what we're going to be doing. No. No, we do not want a little blue Linguini. And besides, because you're yellow and a banana, you would turn green. You're not a green banana. You're a little yellow banana with little pieces of lavender in you. We don't want to turn you green. Do we? I forget what color Elsa's... I think it was a darker blue that I used for her eyes, so we'll just go ahead and give her eyes a little bit more pigment of this blue. You know, I might be able to add a little bit of something to augment the blue, but I'm really digging this. I think it looks really nice. Anna was a reddish purplish color that did not turn out the last time that we tried to do it with marker. So we're going to go with paint. I'm taking the red paint. Here, let me put that over there. I'm taking the red paint and I'm putting it on my palette over here. I'm going to mix it with some, what did I mix it with last? Well, how do we make a little bit of a magenta? I'm going to mix it with a little bit of purple. Just a little bit. And even that was overpowering. I know with the lighting you can't see exactly how overpowering that was, but it was very overpowering. Very purple, bruisey purple kind of color. So we're going to water that down quite a bit. And even there, like, adding that just the sheer purple makes it really really purple. So I'm just gonna add some like straight up red to this color and see if that helps. Yeah, do you like my Coke Zero? Are you telling me that you would like me to drink my pop? Yeah, are you reminding me that I need caffeine? I'll do it in a second, my love. Just give me a sec. Green blue for Anna's eyes. I might want to wait on that because the body's still wet. Let's go to Kristoff. Kristoff was a greenish brown. Actually, it was a green brown that was Anna's eyes. I totally forgot. So I remember I made now that we've gone to the watercolor. Ooh, hi baby. He thinks that he's a tree climber and he's not. You're not a tree climber. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you're not a tree climber. Little Mom, that was scary. Yeah, well, you shouldn't go up there then. Is that I don't know what else to tell you, sweetness. He legitimately thinks that he can climb trees and he absolutely can't. So he just sees me as a giant tree. I'm like, "Oh, honey. No." Let's see. Sven was brown. A little bit of orange in it, I believe, is what we did. We kind of used Anna's hair color for Sven's body as well. Just because it was there. Yeah, that's a nice brownish with orange. Brown with orange right there. Perfect. And if I really wanted to be worried about, like, start thinking about, like, shadowing and shading and stuff, I could go over it again with that color or add some more pigment or add a darker pigment to it. Oh, that was such a big yawn. I think I'm going to add gray, like a light gray for Olaf's face and eyes because I think they were like little coals. Just cute little Olaf. And then I remember that Sven's antlers were a watered down, kind of like tan kind of thing. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I think, if I recall correctly, Kristoff's eyes were blue. All right, so let's see what's dry and what's not and what we can do. For this, I think I'm gonna do kind of like shades of gray because I remember in Among Us, the end credity kind of area is it's gray with spotlights. So I think I kind of want to do shades of gray sort of thing, but really, really watered down and pushing this pigment around liberally. Possibly if I can manage that. Do you think I can manage it? Do you think I can manage that? Was that a no? Ugh. Ye of little faith. Ye of such little faith. I'm insulted, Linguini. Like, how dare. I noticed that this is a little darker over here, so like a little bit of a darker wash on this side, so I'm going to try to bring symmetry again. Have a lighter and then a darker wash. And Hans is going to be over here just in black, in the blackest of black, because this void of space and villainy is dark and awful. Right? That's how we're going to put it. Right. The only problem with that is it might bring too much focus up to the top, and that's the only part that is really unbalanced. So we'll see. I don't know. It might be that with the amount of black that I'm putting at the bottom and the fact that Elsa is very much bigger and drawing more attention, that I might be able to get away with it, but we'll see. And I'm also going to like try to thin out that water near where the magic's happening. Literally. So we're going to see how this works out. And if it doesn't, then that's okay. You know? It's all about experimentation. Because if it doesn't work out this time the way that I want it to, that means that A, the next time I want it to work out, I know what not to do. And B, if I ever want something to work out this way, I can make that happen. Because I'll have done it this time by accident. Just like Bob Ross, happy little accidents, right? I don't know if it's worth having my face on one of the other webcams because I know I'm not doing very much with it. But here we are. Right, Linguini? Here we are. I mean, it might just be worth it for having Linguini on. Like, being able to see Linguini is a pretty big pull, to me at least, but I'm biased because he's my baby. Yeah. My sweet child. Alright. We're going to do a super watered down gray over here. Just as background kind of texture. But it's super watered down. Yeah. I don't know. This feels more ominous than I was hoping that it would. It kind of looks like Elsa is throwing him into the void. Or that there's some sort of like Lovecraftian monster that she's summoning. And I'm not sure how I feel about it. You know? I don't know how I feel about this. It's definitely the least colorful of my pictures that I've done for this series, and again, I just don't, I'm not sure how I feel about this. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Alright, let's come back to this color for Anna's hair. It's very muted. Like, the colors are very muted. I guess I could up some of the colors. Might be because I was afraid of the colors becoming way too extra like last time. Like Anna's was last time. Add some more orange to her hair, maybe. I don't know, does that help? And we'll color his nose, Olaf's nose as well. Hi, baby. And then, what else? I know Kristoff, I used this darkish greenish brownish color on again. Maybe I'll make it a little bit brighter green, I guess. I don't know. This back, oh, and of course her hair bleeds in. This background, this like, I was meant it to be like a soft, comforting gray, but it certainly did not turn out that way. I would have said a gray fountain, but I think a super light blue might be better. But I'm not entirely sure at this point because this has not gone in the direction that I thought it was going to. Oh, okay. Well, let me do Hans, whatever his name is, over here in red, just so that everybody remembers that he's the villain. And then I'll do his hair, and then we will call this what it is. We'll call it what it is. Creepy. And I mean, to be fair, this is the one that I based most off of, like, the Among Us tropes. Kind of like this end game, everybody's lined up with the black around them. So to be fair, it reflects kind of the somber creepiness of Among Us, not gonna lie. No, stop that. Stop it. Not you, you're fine. Although I know that you're plotting. It's happening. He's really a wristwatch kind of snake too. He always goes around my wrist and my partner's wrist. Usually. All right. What did Sven's eyes look like? I think they were just kind of white again. So I think taking some from Olaf, try to make his a little bit less black and adding it to Sven's might be my ticket. There we go. What? Oh, Anna's eyes. Anna's eyes were blue-green. So we'll mix these together. Make her eyes blue-green. And that, my dears, is our creepy ending of Frozen. As I've said before, you always should go ahead and sign it. So I'm going to sign it right... where should I sign it? I usually like to sign mine somewhere inconspicuous. Usually on the bottom right or left-hand side, but really there's nothing there, so I'll just go ahead and do that. HBB 21. So there we have it. Kind of creepy. Does not really go in line with the other ones, but you know, it happens. And that's my final triptych panel. Oops, sorry, honey. So thank you for joining me if you joined me, and I really appreciate you being here. I thank you for watching this afterwards if you did. I hope that this helped somehow. But otherwise, I hope that you have a really great day and have a lovely, wonderful, sleepy Sunday. And Little Linguini says, stay curious. Bye, all.